we are.
Good? I think so.
Feeling good, feeling great.
All right, who's ready for some girl chat?
So ready.
Me too. Okay, first up, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's career is as impressive as he is handsome. He's one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood, stars in the insanely popular Fast and Furious franchise, and nearly has 100 million Instagram followers.
One of them being me.
Yes.
I love myself, The Rock.
Yes.
He does.
He was one of your man crushes before.
Yes. And
However,
will always be.
the actor recently admitted the journey to where he is now wasn't always so easy. At 22, Johnson said he was so excited to fulfill his dream of playing professional football for the Calgary Stampeders, but just 2 days after joining the team, he got cut. Johnson was sent home with only $7 in his pocket, but he didn't let that get him down. Check it out.
You gotta have faith that the one thing you wanted to happen oftentimes is the best thing that never happened. So have faith and just keep that in mind and keep plugging away.
Amen.
That's great.
So, ladies, what would you say is the best thing that never happened to you?
Wow. I think the best thing that never happened to me a long time ago, I may have shared this before, but I was on the revamped version of Star Search.
Yes.
That was the host was Arsenio Hall.
Yeah.
I did really well. I was one of 12 comedians. I was the only female.
That's awesome.
Did really well. People like, what was her name? Tyrese judged me.
Oh, wow.
No
yeah,
way.
it was funny. It was like back in the day. And I did really, really well. Got all the way to the finals. And I ended up losing the final. And that was $100,000. And at the time, I was a struggling road comic, and I was devastated. And the thing is that when you lose, you're still under contract for a year with, at the time, it was CBS.
Yeah.
And so, but I didn't win $100,000. It was like all or nothing.
Yeah.
And because I had been seen on television, HBO at the time wanted to give me a deal, but I was in a contract with CBS. So then I went to the president, Les Moonves, and I thank Les Moonves of CBS to this day because he let me out of that contract. And I actually earned more than $100,000. It helped me with my career because if I would have been stuck for that year under CBS, they weren't going to use me. I would have basically been diminished as far as my name. So I have to say, I was disappointed at first, but because of the way things happen, sometimes things happen for a reason. I was just supposed to be seen nationwide, but I didn't win the big one. But I ended up winning.
In the long run.
You don't even know. I mean, and shout out to the guy that beat me. His name is Roy. Ooh, God. It's Roy. It's Roy. It's Roy. I know the first name is Roy.
Not trying to throw no shade, but
right. But
that could have been you when we would have said, Lonnie who?
But I'm just saying, you never know. You know?
And Lonnie, you are nationwide here on the radio.
Everything's supposed to happen exactly how it's supposed to happen.
True.
Yep.
True.
It's all working for your good.
What about you, ladies?
What about you guys?
When I first came out here to become an actress, I auditioned actually for Ashley Banks on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you guys, I had studied so hard. I wanted that job so bad. But if I would have been doing that, I would have never got the role for Sister Sister.
Whoa. There would be no Sister Sister.
Because Fresh Prince of Bel-Air went on for so many years, and actually our shows actually kind of crossed each other. And I remember visiting the set and seeing Tatiana Ali, and she played that role perfectly. And I'm a true believer of what's for you, you will get in the right time. So I'm actually happy that never happened because I got to do a show with my twin sister.
I love it. I love that.
So cool. Amazing.
I absolutely agree with you, Tam. Like, even the Bible says, like, everything is working for your good. Like, God is so intentional about what is for you. And let me tell you, nobody can block your blessing. What is for you will be for you. And if it didn't work out, that means it wasn't for you.
There's a reason.
Yes, so when I was 9 years old, I actually participated in New York City at the Shakespeare Festival. And that's where, like, kids get to reenact Shakespeare films. And I got to be in Katerina the Shrew, and I actually played Katerina. And I had the most incredible time doing this. And after I did my performance, at 9 years old, these agents, these scouts came up to my mom and were like, we want to sign her. It was actually an agency called Ta-Da. I don't know if it still exists, but it was an agency called...
Ta-da!
Like, ta-da! Yeah, and it was in New York.
I was thinking another type of tie-dye, but all right.
All righty then. So they came up to my mom and they're like, we want to get her an agent, like we want her to do acting. And my mom was like, nah, fam, that's not what she's gonna do. Like she's in plays in church and she sings in the children's choir. Like that's it. She's a little girl and I want her to just be a little girl.
Yeah.
And I was devastated. I was like, you're ruining my life. This is my dream. And I just couldn't understand why she didn't let me do it at that time. And I am so grateful for that because they always say moms know best, and she knew at that time I wasn't ready. And when I say I wasn't ready, I was still developing who I was, you know. Even you continue to learn who you are, but at 9 years old, she felt that it wasn't the right time for me at that age. Now, granted, when 14 came around and I joined 3LW, she was like, you know what, she's in a better place, and she actually let me do that. Let me tell you, I have a praying mom who said that she just didn't feel right in her spirit to let me join that company at that time. But when 3LW came along, people asked her, even in church, they were like, why are you sending your daughter to the wolves, the music industry? And I sang in church, and they were like, you can't let her sing for the world. And my mom said to them, and people were harsh on her in church, and she was like, you know what? God has given me peace about it, and I know that maybe that's her ministry. Maybe she won't talk to the people you can talk to, but maybe she can be a light in a different part of the world.
Right.
And I'm so grateful for a platform like this, because I don't know what would have happened to me had I started at 9 years old versus starting 5 years later at 14 years old. But I'm grateful for my mom having a discerning spirit like you, Tam, and following what she felt in her heart was right. And at 14, she felt it was right, and look where I am now. It all worked out exactly how it was supposed to.
It always does.
That's amazing.
It always does. I think, for me, when I think about what was the best thing that never happened, the first thing that comes up in my mind is a lasting marriage with my ex. I think that was a really hard time because I am a devoted person. I'm very loyal. And I love God. So when you get married, divorce is not an option. You try as hard as you can to make it work. And there comes a point where you have to be honest with yourself to realize that you're just not happy and everything you do is only drawing you guys farther apart. So it takes a sense of discernment, prayer, support from friends, and also being real with yourself to really just trust God still. He's still there, and let go. And it wasn't until we actually made the decision and took the distance apart that I realized we are happier and more truer versions of ourselves apart than we are together.
Wow.
So it really, I'm telling you, it flipped my entire life, took a complete different direction. Because once you get married, I'm sure where you're at right now, it's a blissful, beautiful moment. You know where you're set to go. You're excited for all the things that come after that. But what if it doesn't end up that way? You get real scared. And you also get judged from everybody around you. So today, though, when I look at him and I see that he's moving on, I see the man I always knew he could become, and I see myself falling more in love with a version of me that wasn't able to be there when we were together. I know I made the right decision, and I'm thankful for God to love me no matter what.
That's for sure.
And be beside me.
And God doesn't leave you even in the midst of that.
And
there's a lot of men I'm happy I never was with.
You got a list? You got a list, girl?
I got a whole list. I'm like, ooh, I'm glad I ain't get with him.
Cue the Beyonce song, Best Thing I Never Had, right? Well, whether you're going through good times or bad times, it's always important to have friends by your side, like Jeannie said. But what happens if your BFF gets into a fight with someone that you personally have no problem with? Does your bestie's new enemy have to become your enemy? Well, blogger Sophia Nelson has some tips on how to handle such a situation. What did you guys just say?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
you
that
guys
was
say
real
yes.
Party. Some said yes. This one was like, nah. All right, well, Sophia says she tries not to take sides too soon. Make sure to not add any additional fuel to the fire. And most importantly, believe people when they show you who they really are.
So,
ladies.
Really
Facts.
good lesson.
When it comes to backing your besties in their beefs, are you ride or die to this level, or... No,
This is a tough question.
Well, okay, go ahead, Tam.
Well, if you guys know Andrea.
Yeah.
Andrea
Love
Regalado.
Andrea.
And for people who watched my reality show with my twin sister, Tia and Tamara, they got to see who Andrea is.
Yes.
Andrea is the nicest person.
So sweet.
She is who she is, and she always sees the good in people.
Always.
So if she doesn't like you, there's a reason. So I'm a ride or die. If Andrea don't like you, I don't like you.
Okay.
What were you gonna say, Laurie?
Well, I'm trying to understand because I have two friends, thank you, right now that they don't like each other.
Okay. And they're both friends with each other as well?
They're both friends with each other. We're all three friends.
But now they're not friends.
And now they're not friends.
Got it.
And now they want me to pick and choose. And I'm like, well, that's between y'all two. What that got to do with me?
Yes.
That's how I feel. I'm in the same position.
Really?
Yes, something like that just recently happened to me, and I feel like that.
Yeah, because I'm like, I won't be like petty, like invite both of them out to eat together, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like
That's like Sophia said, don't add fuel to the fire. That fuel.
This is what got me upset with. Anyway, I had a birthday party, as you guys know. I had a birthday party.
Yes.
So one came, and the other one got mad because the other one was going to come.
I think I know who they
God.
are.
Stop it, okay? And my thing is, it's a large room. It was at a club. You don't have to be bothered with that person. Seriously. So I didn't understand why she didn't come.
Yeah.
And my thing is, if you say you my friend, you know, come for my birthday, even if it's for 5 minutes.
I'm just saying, I don't side with the person that showed up because they're the responsible and the real friend.
Yeah, I don't...
They're not selfish. That's very selfish.
I don't even know who the people are, but I don't like the friend. Okay, but I don't like the friend who didn't show up because that is some shady, selfish stuff right there. That is immature. It is your birthday, and you are her friend. You show your butt up, and you show up.
It's not about you.
No, it's not.
Somebody else's special day. Put yourself aside and show up. Don't be her friend. Okay, so this is how I feel.
Okay.
It depends on who the friend is. A lot of us have friends for different reasons. I've had people in my life that have been a childhood friends for 20 years.
Right.
I may not always like the things that they do. And you know the people that you're friends with. And there's even friends that now at this point have almost become family more than friends.
Right.
Y'all don't even hang like that, but they're still in your life.
Yes.
I think it's important to pay attention to who the person is that's asking you not to be friends with other people. Like you said, Andrea is someone that don't have beef with nobody.
Nice. She really doesn't.
She's a nice person. She's a good person. So when she tells you, watch out for this person, they're not a good person, you pay attention. I would do the same thing with you, Tam. But there are other types of friends that have beef with everyone.
That is true.
You cannot go around making her enemies, which is everybody, your enemies, because you will wake up one day like, I don't have no friends, because she has a problem with everybody. And if you have a problem with everybody, then that means I have to have a problem with everybody. I don't want to live my life that way. Your problems are your problems, and also...
You're on the road, much.
That's right. I had a friend... Okay, so I stopped being friends with someone she didn't like, and then at some point I had a falling out with somebody, and she did not do the same in return.
Oh, see?
Therefore, I will never do that again for her.
Wow. How rude.
I'm a true friend. Like, I would never, like, with you ladies, if it's somebody that I don't like that you guys are friends with, I wouldn't be like, stop being friends with them because I don't like. I'm just not, that's high schoolish.
Yes, I hear you, but I'm a very loyal person. Capricorns, make a friend with one another. We are bomb. So because I love you, Adrian, so much, and I know the other person, that is why I can eliminate
Who is this person?
I can't say. But if you tell me about somebody and they did something not legit, I'm not petty. I'm 39 and I am refined, okay? So I will go and actually have a talk with that person, tell them why they need to come correct with Jesus. And then, like, you know, get it together and check them. I like to check a person.
I don't like that. Like I said, I get you and I appreciate that. But like I said, sometimes it's miscommunication between adults and things that happen. If you ask me, now if you say, hey, do you know this person, what's this person like, then I'll tell you. But I ain't gonna just run, because, you know, sometimes we get miscues.
You don't want to be a gossip. You don't want to be a gossiper where you're going and running your mouth about people.
Sometimes different personalities just don't gel, and maybe they didn't gel with you, but they might gel with someone else.
If it's an opportunity, if it's a certain opportunity, depending on what it is. If it's some money, then I might be like, wait, before you invest your money.
And lastly, don't ever forget that I don't care where you stand in the story of Friends, there's always her side, the other side, and the truth.
Exactly.
Okay, so you gotta remember that.